This is Kirsten here, and thank you so much, as always, for tuning in today to watch this episode on YouTube or listen to it on Apple Podcast or Spotify. Wherever you are, I would appreciate if you share this podcast episode with anybody who you think might benefit from it. And if you are on YouTube, please leave me a thumbs up and maybe a comment, because I want to hear from you. I want to know how you are doing, and if there's anything that I can do to support you, just let me know in the comments. Today we're going to talk about strength training, and we're going to cover a couple of different areas, but the focus is going to be mainly on people who are dealing with these chronic pains and chronic sensations that are neuroplastic, or you can also call them the TMS pain, TMS sensations. TMS means tension myositis syndrome. Just wanted to make sure that you have heard this term, although you definitely don't have to know this whole mouthful. That's okay. But basically it means that your problems are coming from stress in your nervous system. And so now if you have this pain or these other sensations, I want to help you, and I want to help you understand how you can get started with strength training and how you can have successful workouts, because there are certain things that you can do, and there's more than just telling I am safe. You know that I am not a big fan of this, because for me it didn't really click when I repeated this, and later I learned, oh, that's because my nervous system and what I'm saying verbally, that's not the same language. My nervous system speaks a different language, and this is more like a bodily language, right? So when I'm just saying I'm safe, that's not going to click. So in today's episode, I'm going to tell you what you can do in order to have better workouts, how you can actually feel different, how you can actually experience less pain, and how you can have more confidence going into a workout and also have better workouts. This is one thing that we're going to talk about. And then the second half of the podcast today, I want to tell you why it is important that you have truly customized workout plan that is tailored for you, and why the online workouts that you can maybe find on YouTube or in different apps may not be the best fit for you at all. So, but let's go to our first half of the podcast, and like I said, we're going to talk about how you can have a successful workout even if you have some chronic pain and chronic sensations. And the first thing that is so important to understand, that's the foundation of everything, like how your workout is going to go, how you're going to feel, what kind of results you're going to get. The first thing that you have to pay attention to is the state of your nervous system, right? So what do I mean by that? What is the nervous system state for you right now? Could you say that I am calm and centered and grounded, which is known as the ventral vagal? Again, you don't have to know that necessarily, but do you feel calm, centered, and grounded? Or do you feel more like, oh my God, I am so anxious, I am so nervous, I don't know how this is going to go? If this is you, you are in a high sympathetic activation. So do a quick check-in with yourself right now and see, where are you at? And then you can do the same check-in by thinking in your mind, I'm going to do a workout. I'm going to do maybe some squats. I'm going to do maybe some push-ups, maybe against the wall, or maybe I do a few sit-ups. How does it make me feel? And pay attention to your body. What happens inside of your body? That is one thing that tells you what is your nervous system state like at the moment. So first thing is the body, and the second thing is what language starts getting, going on in your mind. What's the language? Because the language also tells you about your nervous system state. Here's an example. When you think about, I'm going to do a little workout, and you feel like your stomach is starting to twist and turn, and your chest is starting to pound like crazy, and your head feels like there's a lot of pressure in there because you're so nervous. This tells you your body is speaking to you. Your body is telling you that we are in this high activation because the thought of working out makes us scared. And your language, when your language is like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I want to do this, but I don't know if I can. Oh my God, I'm so terrified. I'm probably going to make things worse. I'm scared. I don't know. What if I get a sensation? Does it mean that I'm broken? I can never do this? So if your language is like that, this is also a sign that you are in this high sympathetic activation. And you have to get to know your nervous system and understand when you are in a state that is not helpful. It's not good for you. Would you agree? It's not good for you to be in this anxious state, to have these terrifying thoughts. And your thoughts, by the way, are there because of your nervous system state, right? That state determines your thoughts. I think you will agree that this is not helpful. So now, when you are in this high sympathetic activation, this is your nervous system state, and you're thinking you're going to do a workout, it's probably not going to go too well, because look at your language already. You're like, oh my God, it's going to be awful. Oh my God, I'm going to hurt myself, right? And then you have this twisting and turning, insides are turning, that feeling. So even when I talk about it, you notice that I'm getting fired up. I'm getting a little bit into this sympathetic activation. But let's now switch out of that. Let's switch into what's called the ventral vagal, which is calm and grounded and relaxed and trusting that everything's going to go well. So now, before you work out, your goal is to get your nervous system to this place, to this state that I just described. And you notice that even my pace of how fast I talk, that kind of slowed down. My voice maybe dropped a little bit, everything slowed down, and you maybe start to notice that, oh, Kirsti's not so frantic anymore. She's not like in this hypervigilant mode. She's calming down. That must feel better. And you're right, it does feel better. And this is where you have to get yourself into also if you want to have a successful workout. So how can you then prepare yourself? Instead of telling yourself, I'm going to be safe, I'm going to be safe, I'm going to be safe, while still being in this very hyper-vigilant mode, instead of doing that, you have to find ways to calm your system down, to come into this ventral vagal, calm, relaxed, present state. So first thing, like I said, I was talking very fast before. So what you can do is to start slowing down a little bit. You don't have to go into complete stillness, but everything you do, can you slow down a bit? Can you slow down how fast you talk? Can you slow down how many things you get done per minute? Can you just in general slow down and take a couple of relaxing breaths? That will take your nervous system to the place where we want it to be, the calm, grounded, and relaxed. Some other things that you can do. I'm really big into somatic work. So what you can do is, for example, when you feel this intense energy in you, that's the hypervigilant sympathetic activation, you can shake your entire body, right? Shake it out. Maybe give it 1 to 3 minutes, maybe more if you need to. Shake, 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 shake. Pause for a moment. Feel the vibrations. They will come up. It's all physical. It's all bodily. Then maybe tap your chest. This is my favorite thing when I get anxious. Tapping my chest. Breathing a little bit slower until I start to feel more grounded and present, until I reach that place that feels good, that feels healthy to me. So that's one thing you can do. You could also sing or hum a simple song that is it's just good. It feels good for your nervous system. Like I have been humming a lot lately. One of the things that I've been doing a lot is I put my legs up the wall, against the wall, and I'm singing this little song that's an old song from an old Estonian movie. And I just sing it. I just hum it to myself. It's pretty repetitive. There's not a lot of change. There's not like high notes or anything. It's very simple. And I'm just singing this and singing this and singing this and humming and keeping my legs up on the wall. And I just feel my system calming down and everything settling down. And I'm getting to this state that feels healthier, more pleasant, is not as rushed. Another thing that you could do when you're feeling this parasympathetic activation is just sway from side to side. So when you just move side to side like that, this is very calming and soothing for the nervous system. Picture how you would soothe and calm a baby. We rock a baby, right? So this movement side to side is very calming for the nervous system. Another thing that you can do is to, for example, go outside, and if there's sun outside, hopefully there is, sit in the sun and take in all the warmth and the light and the goodness. Just let it all come in. Just really bathe in it. Feel the goodness of it until you feel, yes, things starting to settle, things starting to calm down in me. Another thing that you can do is to use your visualization. So bring to mind the time when you felt really present, when you felt really grounded, calm, at ease. And bring this memory into life in your body. Don't just think about it. feel it in your physical body. And again, sit with it, like really take it all in until your nervous system is starting to rest and settle down. Yeah. And then the last thing that you can visualize is to visualize a nature scene that represents groundedness and ease. What is it for you? You're probably not going to visualize a crazy thunder and lightning. That probably isn't very calming and easing for you. But maybe it is something like birds chirping in the forest. Just the other day, I found a really cool track on YouTube that I was listening to, and that was just literally only birds chirping, and that's all. And I listened to it like 10 minutes. I feel like I'm in the forest. I feel like I'm 8 years old. I feel so chill. I feel so relaxed, and my mind starts to wander and starts going places like a child. It just feels really good, and I feel it in my body. It's not just in my mind. So all of these things are some ways of how you can calm your nervous system down and come out of that frantic and panic place. So whatever you choose, the goal is to get you to a place of ease and groundedness before you start your workout. And of course, that also means that the language is going to calm down. It's not going to be this panicky language anymore. Your language is going to change to more like, I'm going to try this. I'm going to give it a go. It's going to go fine. It will be okay. I can do this. Kirsten said it's safe. I can do this. Let's give it a go. Right? So you're going to be like calm. You're going to be supportive. You're going to be encouraging when your nervous system is this way. But if your nervous system is frantic and you're running around and like acting like the house is on fire, your language is going to also be like that. And that's not a good starting point. So let's say that now you're successfully changed your nervous system state and you are in a place of calm, ease, and groundedness. And then you're going to do a workout. And the workout that I want you to do is going to be a normal or even slower paced. I don't want you to do like HIIT training or super fast things where your nervous system may not be ready for that intensity at the moment yet. So what I want you to do, the way I want you to strength train, is to take it slow. Like you're going to do maybe 8 or 10 repetitions of squats. And then you're going to sit down and rest. And in each one of my programs, there's at least 1 minute of sitting and doing nothing. At least 1 minute, up to 5 minutes in some programs that are more for more advanced lifters. So these breaks are necessary so that you can calm down. Because of course your heart rate is going to go up when you work out, but this is different from anxiety, right? You can still stay grounded, at ease and relaxed, and your heart rate as a result of physical exercise, of course it will go up a little bit. That's normal. We're not going to panic about it. It's okay. But with these breaks that I have for you between the exercise, you're going to give yourself some time to rest and recover and kind of breathe easily again, and then you do the exercise again. And now this is actually a really good way to go into the second part of which is this. A lot of people think that, why do I need a workout program that is like customized for me? Because I could go on YouTube, I could do this fitness influencer's plan, I could go on Instagram and follow this girl's plan. She looks so good and she probably knows what she's doing. So when you follow these plans, there are many downsides. Of course, some of them will be great. And so now if you want to do these workouts that are like on YouTube, that are often really fast paced, that are often really complicated, that don't give you any time to rest and recover, that definitely don't take into account your chronic pain or other chronic sensations that you may have. If you do something like this, you are more likely to burn out and not be so successful. So I want to tell you some other points that are just good to know if you think that I might as well do this high intensity plan from YouTube or from this app. So the workouts that you find online are oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes put together randomly, right? There's hardly any consistent structure to them. The order of the exercises, which by the way is very important in the proper workout programming, is usually like there's no order. There's no rhyme or reason or any logic why these exercises are thrown together the way they are if you just get a random program online that you don't even know who wrote this, right? And Also, these programs often don't have any breaks, which limits your ability to gain true strength, because in order to really challenge your muscles and get stronger, you need to rest also. You can't just go all the time, right? The other thing that is very common to those programs online is that they usually change every time you do them. And on the surface, this may sound like a good idea because it seems more interesting, right? You think workouts have to be so much fun, they have to be interesting. But what I know personally from training people for over a decade at this point is that switching things up too often leaves no opportunity for learning the proper movement patterns, getting used to the exercises, and developing muscle and strength consistently. Another downside is, of course, that there's no coach to support you, which is important for everybody to have a coach who will support you, but especially for beginners and even more so for people with chronic pain, chronic sensations. If you want to make sure that you're doing the movements the right way, that you don't get hurt, then it's important that you can reach out to somebody who will check your form, who will look at the workout or exercise video, who will answer your question. But you cannot get that from those workout plans. And of course, these plans usually don't take into account your abilities, what you're capable of, what you can and cannot do, your preferences, your history, and what actually works for your body, right? And another thing is that nobody's there to modify things for you. And I will say, having created a lot of programs over the years, most people need modifications at some point, whether it is like, I need to make my workout shorter. What are the things that I can take out or do less of? Or this movement doesn't work with my current injury. How can I replace it? How can we find a workaround? Most people need some modifications somewhere along the way. And now if you just get a program from an app or from YouTube or something like that, you're probably not going to get that. So that's why it's so important that you work with a coach. And other thing is that your workouts don't have to be complicated. But what I often see, and this is super funny to me, honestly, if you have any experience with creating workout plans or like working out consistently, you know that this stuff doesn't work, and the stuff is doing like 3 or 4 exercises put together and making them look really interesting. Like, let's squat and press and stand on one foot and then raise our left arm and then do a body twist at the same time, something like that. And people are doing it because they think it's interesting, it's like entertaining, it's more fun, but it's so incredibly ineffective. It really is. My goal is always to create programs and offer people things that actually work and make them as simple as possible. Why do we need to complicate stuff? Don't we have enough complicated stuff already? We don't need to complicate your strength training. Absolutely not. So let's make it simple and let's make it effective and let's make it so that it's doable for you and so that you can modify the things that need to be modified. So these are all the reasons that I felt like I really need to talk to you about, because I know it's so much easier to just like, you know, I'm going to get this free YouTube video, or I'm just going to do this thing from the app and my friend is doing this, doing great. But is it really so great for you? Is it really that what you need? Or do you need more support? Do you need more guidance? Do you need more help? And especially if you have chronic pain, what most online trainers would tell you, or any trainers at the gym too, they would probably tell you to stretch your back or tighten your core or strengthen your glutes. These are all the things that I also did. And I am a personal trainer. I had low back pain for 7 years. Even I did it. I didn't know better, but now I do. And that's why it's one of my biggest goals, is to get people with chronic sensations also get started with strength training and offering them advice that truly works. Like I gave you in this first half of the episode, how can you actually prepare your nervous system? It's not about strengthening your core at this point, right? It is about preparing your nervous system for lifting and then maintaining that useful, that helpful, beneficial nervous system state throughout the workout. And also want to mention that the duration of your workout, we don't have to like say, okay, you're a beginner, you only get to do 5 minutes and next week maybe 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be like this at all. What matters much more is like, how long can you maintain that good state, that good, calm, relaxed, positive, trusting, everything's fine state. So if you can maintain that for 30 minutes, then you can work out for 30 minutes. So that's totally fine. It doesn't have to be limited to only 5 minutes. So these are the things that I felt like I really have to talk about today. And I hope that you found this podcast episode today really helpful and useful. If you have any questions at all regarding today's topics or regarding the one-on-one strength training coaching that I'm offering right now, then please drop a comment in the YouTube description. You can also reach out to me on Instagram. You can find me at Tara_wisdom. Reach out there. And of course, check out the program details. Go to the link in the show notes and description and apply to work with me if you're interested. Applications are open until March 17th. All right, thank you so much for watching or listening today, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Take care.